problems related to the chapter 3. In this class, we will solve some problems related to the chapter 3. These are some exercise problems and previous year questions. Okay, we'll solve one by one. Before going to that, so we should remember some questions, some formulas related to this. Okay, so out of these, so here we have to remember, so for first law, so we have non-flow energy equation, steady flow energy equation, and also first law applied to cyclic process. Okay, so here non-flow energy equation is which is for one process. So for a closed system, for one process, NFE will be Q is equal to delta U plus W. That means whatever the heat is supplied is converted to, some part is converted to internal energy and some part is converted to work done. Similarly, so SFE already we have covered today. SFE is m dot into H1 plus V1 square by 2 plus Z1G plus Q is equal to m dot into H2 plus V2 square by 2 plus Z2G plus W. This is for steady flow energy equation. This is also for single process, but for open system. And another first law for closed system and cyclic process, that will be cyclic integral of Q is equal to cyclic integral of W. If there are many heat transfers in a cycle, we have to add these heats, so on up to n number of process, and that will be equal to work transfers to Wn. You have to remember that sign conventions should be followed to add these and these. That means if it is supplied, Q supplied, then it is positive, and if it is rejected, it is negative. That means if Q2 is rejected, then you should write Q1 minus Q2. Similarly, for work done by the system is positive, whereas work done on the system is negative. So depending on the particular work done, you have to write whether it is positive or negative. Okay, so these are the formulas you require for solving the problems on first law. So coming to the problems, so first let us solve this problem. Okay, we'll solve this problem. So let us see this. So here, so during a complete cycle of operation, there are many operations in a cycle subjected to following heat transfer. That means you have to, here it is said that it is a cycle, so you have to use this cyclic integral of Q is equal to cyclic integral of W. Whatever the heat transfers are there, we will keep it as Q1 and Q2. Okay, so here heat transfers are 800 kilojoules supplied, so heat is supplied to the system, so it will be plus 800 kilojoules, and 550 kilojoules rejected, so Q2 will be minus 550 kilojoules. Similarly, At 3 points, the work is done to the extent of, there are 3 works which are W1 is extent of 100 kilojoules, W2 is 26 kilojoules, and finally W3 is minus 10 kilojoules. That means minus 10 means work done is on the system. That is why here minus is given. At 4th point, there is further work transfer. That means there is another work W4 which we don't know. Determine the amount and state whether work is done by or on the system. So we know that cyclic integral of Q is equal to, so if you sum these, that will be cyclic integral of Q, and if you sum these, that will be cyclic integral of W. So 800 minus 550 is 250 kilojoules, and also cyclic integral W is equal to 100 plus 26 minus 10, that will be 116 kilojoules plus W4. We don't know the value of W4. 100 plus 26, 126 minus 10, 116. Okay. Now these two are equal. That means 250 is equal to 116 plus W4. So W4 will be equal to 250 minus 116, which is equal to 134 kilojoules. So it is, we are getting it as positive. That means work is done by the system. Okay, this is a sample problem related to first law applied to a cyclic process. Okay, we'll solve another problem similar to this. So here another problem is there. These two are your exercise problems. Okay, so here another problem. So the system changes from state 1 to state 2 along the path 1A2. That means so from this to this. During the process, 250 kilojoules of heat is added to the system, and the system does 90 kilojoules of work. That means there are two processes. So say suppose there is QA, WA and QB, WB. Okay, heat transfer during A process and work transfer during A, and also similar to this. So here 1A2 means, so here there is a mistake in the problem. This should be in this direction and this should be in this direction. Okay, 1A2, this process. So during this process 250 kilojoules of heat is added. So this will be plus 250 kilojoules. And the system does 90 kilojoules of work. So work is done by the system. So this is also a positive. This is positive and this is also positive. Next, how much heat must be supplied to the system if the path followed is 1B2 with 50 kilojoules of work is done. So he is saying that during, when it is coming back to 1, that means it is to be a cycle. Okay, during process B, work done is 50 kilojoules. So this is also positive. So what will be the heat transfer? You have to find this. So there are only two processes. So heat supplied or total heat, sum of heats is equal to sum of work inputs or work done. So QA is 250 plus QB. We don't know the QB. You have to find the QB. Next 90 plus 50. So QB is equal to 90 plus 50, 140. 140 minus 250, that is equal to minus 110 kilojoules. That is, here we are getting negative sign, means heat is rejected. heat is rejected by the system. Okay, this is how you will apply the first law of thermodynamics to a cyclic process. Okay, this is one problem. We'll solve another problem related to SFE. So mainly the problem will be coming from SFE, that is steady flow energy equation. We'll try to solve that also. So here there is a fluid with specific enthalpy of 2800 enters a horizontal nozzle. So this is a nozzle problem. So here the topic is SFE of nozzle. So you can remember the formula, which is V2 is equal to square root of 2000 into H1 minus H2 plus V1 square, or you can derive it from a total steady flow energy equation. So here I am doing it with the help of the formula. So here it is saying fluid with a velocity specific enthalpy of, so here H1 is 2800 kilojoule per kg, enters a horizontal at a rate of, here m dot is given as 14 kg per second at the outlet from the nozzle. The specific enthalpy is at the exit is 2250 kilojoule per kg. Neglecting initial velocity, so you can neglect this. Determine the exit velocity. So you have to remember one thing. Here you have mentioned 2000 means H should be substituted in kilojoule per kg. So this problem is given for 6 marks. So H1 is 2800 minus H2 is 2250. Here m dot is given only for confusion. There is no need to determine the exit velocity. Okay, this will be coming as 2800 minus 2250, 550 into 2000 root answer. So this is coming as 1048.8 meter per second, which is approximately 1050 meters per second. So velocity at the exit is 10,050 meters per second. So this is a simple problem, that is why it is given for 6 marks. Now we'll see a full application of steady flow energy equation. Okay. So this is directly given for 10 marks. We'll see this. So here in a steady flow open system, a fluid substance flows at the rate of 10 kg per second. So we will assume a system, since it is a steady flow energy equation. This is inlet, this is outlet. So m dot is equal to 10 kg per second. It enters the system at a pressure of P1 is equal to 600 kilonewton per meter square and a velocity of V1 is equal to 150 meters per second with internal energy of, so it is internal energy is given in specific terms. So U1 is equal to 2000 kilojoule per kg and specific volume is, so small v1 is small v1 is 1 meter cube per kg. It leaves the system at the pressure of, so P2 is also given, P2 is 125 kilonewton per meter square, and then velocity is 100, V2 is 100 meters per second, and the internal energy U2 is equal to 1600 kilojoule per kg and specific volume of V2 is equal to 2 meter cube per kg. And during its passes through the system substance has a loss by heat transfer of 40. So here, so whatever the heat is lost by the system, that is rejected by the system. So Q is equal to minus 40 kilojoule per kg. Determine the power of the system, stating whether it is from the, so we have to find the work done by the system. So if it is done by the system, it will be positive, otherwise it will be negative. Okay. So let's solve this. This is simple substitution formula. So first you have to write steady flow energy equation. So steady flow energy equation is m dot into h1 plus v1 square by 2 plus z1g plus q is equal to m dot into h2 plus v2 square by 2 plus z2g plus w. Okay. So here actually Q you have to be in kilojoules, but here it is given as kilojoule per kg. So this is actually small q. So capital Q will be equal to m dot into q, which is minus 40 into 10. So 400 kilojoule per kg multiplied by kg per second. So it will be minus 400 kilowatts. Okay. So we have to substitute in kilojoules or kilojoule per second, this one. Now we will write m dot is 10 into, here h is not given, but h1 is equal to u1 plus p1 v1. So which is equal to u1 is 2000 plus p1 is 600. So here it is given in kilopascals, which is sufficient for our substitution. 600 into v1 is 1, so it will become 2600 kilojoule per kg. 2600 plus v1 is 150 square by 2 plus z1 g. z1 is not given, and also it is given that neglect any change of gravitational potential, so this is not required. Okay. So plus q is minus 400, that equal to same m dot into h2. Here also h2 equal to u2 plus p2 v2, which is 1600 plus 2 into 125, 1850 kilojoule per kg. 1850 plus v2 is 100 square by 2 plus w. You have to calculate this and find out the work done. I will do it here. 69,600 kilojoule per kg. This amount of work is done by the, sorry, it is kilojoule per second. If you want to find the, that is kilowatts, or you can write like this, 69.6 megawatts. This amount of work is produced here. So if work done is asked in terms of kilojoule per kg, then it will be 69,600 by 10, which is 6960 kilojoule per kg. This is also power. This is work done per kg of fluid, and this is total work, which is 69.6 megawatts or 69,600 kilojoules per second. So from all this you have to observe that this formula is This formula is very important for you and you have to remember this for any SFE or application of SFE. We'll try to solve another problem in same lines. It is almost similar to the system, similar to the previous problem, only numerical values have changed. Okay, in a steady flow open system, a fluid substance, so steady flow means steady flow open system means you have to apply SFE, okay, and you have to write every term. So mass flow rate is given as 4 kg per second. So at the inlet we have certain parameters and at the outlet we have certain parameters. Enters the system at a pressure of P1 is equal to 600 kilopascals or kilonewton per meter square and a velocity of 220 meters per second. Internal energy is also given 2200 kilojoule per kg and also specific volume 0.42 meter cube per kg. It leaves the system at a pressure of exit pressure is 150 kilonewton or kilopascals, you write. Velocity is 145 meters per second. Internal energy is 1650 kilojoule per kg. Specific volume small v2 is 1.5. Here also heat transfer is same. Heat is lost, so it is getting out of the system. So Q is equal to minus 40 kilojoule per kg fluid it is given. So if you convert it to for total fluid 40 into 4, which is minus 160 kilowatts. Okay, now substitute. First calculate H1 and H1 is equal to U1 plus P1 V1, which is 2200 plus 600 into 0.42, which is equal to 2452 kilojoule per kg. Similarly, H2 is equal to U2 plus P2 V2. U2 is 1650 plus P2 150, V2 1.5. (1875) kilojoule per kg. Okay, so you got H1, H2 and remaining are all. So I will write it again. So m dot into H1 plus V1 square by 2 plus Z1G plus Q is equal to m dot into H2 plus V2 square by 2 plus Z2G plus W. Here also he is saying gravitational potential energy is neglected. That means this is 0 and this is 0. So m dot given as m dot is how much? 4 kg per second. So 4 into H1 is 2452 plus V1 is 220 square by 2 plus, so here it is rejected by the system, so negative sign, minus Q is 160 kilowatts, which is equal to m dot same 4 1875 plus exit velocity is 145 square by 2 plus W. You will get the work from this equation. After calculating this, we are getting it as 56,898 kilowatts, or approximately 56.9 megawatts. This is the work output from this device. So this is how you will apply first law of thermodynamics, and application of it is steady flow energy equation to a problem. These are the questions you will generally get in board exams. So solve these kind of problems already in the textbook, and from these questions what we have discussed today, from these questions similar type of question will be given in unit test. Okay.